Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Respect to our first responders, military personnel, and anyone who puts themselves in harm's way to protect us. Thank you.
Unbutton it so it doesn't fall out.
Just so you know, we're trying to get hold of Councilman Navy, who's tried to call in, but for some reason we're having some technical difficulties, so if you guys bear with us, short of a minute or two.
Hey, John.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Great. There's a lot of people here looking at you now. Here's Sean. Okay. All right. So you can hear us fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Every once in a while, we'll say Sean, and you just say response so we know you're there.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Roll call, please. Oh, I'm sorry. Open public meetings. The music outside is incredible. Open public meetings act statement, please.
In compliance with the provisions of chapter 231 of the Jersey of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting was given by public and December 2024. This notice was also placed on the Kinnelon website and sent to the Boro
Thank you. Now let's make a roll call, please.
Councilman Navy? Here.
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 Okay, thank you. We're going to start off by swearing in our newest police officer. I hope you have your speech prepared. Not more than 20 minutes. All right, come on down. You want to join me as chairman of the... Comfortable putting your hand on the Bible? All right. Okay, oath of office, I'll help you through it. I'll leave it here so you can, it'll help you more. I, Joseph Sabatieri,
I, Joseph Sabatieri,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
the Charter of the Borough of Kinnelon,
Morris County, New Jersey.
Morris County, New Jersey.
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
I do further solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of police officer
perform all the duties of police officer
in the Kinnelon Police Department
in the Kinnelon Police Department
in the Borough of Kinnelon,
in the Borough of Kinnelon.
and I promise to come home safe every night to my family.
I promise to come home safe every night to my family.
Thank you. To the best of my ability,
To the best of my abilities.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. This sign here. Everybody else here in protest. No, if you ever told Joey, I'll never know it was him. But I want to just welcome Joey, and welcome to our family. I was was at an event down the shore this weekend, and I said to the woman, I'm from Kinnelon. She goes, it's a cult. And I said, yeah, Kinnelon cult. She goes, no, a cult with a U. She goes, they're so tight in Kinnelon, they always care about each other and take care of each other, and now you're part of our family. You guys up here are the best police officers around, except for one guy from Riverdale. Great police officer as well. But welcome to our family, and know that you got great guys that have your back all the time. And also this council has your back, and I have your back. You know, the first day you came on, I said, send me your cell number, and you did. And now I have your cell number. You have mine. If you ever get any problems or any questions, and you know, if somebody pulled you over, the mayor call me. So I want to wish you good luck. As I said in the end of it, always come home safe to your family, and we appreciate what you do. Keep us safe. And now I'm going to go right to the top. The guy in white, our chief, Joe Napolitano.
Real quick, I just want to say, you know, this is like Magnus America. All these guys for 25 years, okay, they have to be a great fit. Not only fit for the police department and all of us, but it has to be a good fit for Joe also. And it is going to be a great fit with everybody that's here. He complements everybody else that we have so well. As I say this all the time, I live in this town. I am very, very comfortable sleeping at night with all the officers that we have. Couldn't be more proud of any of them. We have a long history here at Kinnelon. A lot of good chiefs that come through here. But I'm going to say this on record. You're the first officer that's ever been sworn in where I went and got a live band.
Where's your dad? Stand up. Bob, retired, right? Retired police officer, which means you were an amazing role model. So thank you very much. Everything down here. Go ahead.
Everything you said is on.
Really?
Are you allowed to leave? I don't know. That guy's close. What's going on, bro? How you making out? Good. How you doing? Good to see you. What's up, bro? Sir, how's everything? It's been good. Congratulations. This is my wife, Amber, by the way. Hello, sweetheart. Little guy, I like him. I heard great things about all of you. I love that outfit, pal. I love your uniform. I know, he's next. I hope so. Right? You're next? It's good for you. Good. How are you? Good. How are you? Okay, don't have it any other way. How are you? Good.
I sure do, man. Thank you. Welcome. First, I'd like to start out by welcoming all the team in. All kind of jokes that lined up already. Cemetery started. Everything's coming in bubbles. Welcome to our borough, Kinnelon. It's a great place. I think you're going to find a good home here, and I wish you all the success. We're out there. I don't want to go straight. I think a lot of people are doing about what's going on Will County Street. They're doing an application of top oil tipping, which is a type of resurfacing deal. And a lot of people have questioned me and said, hey, is that what we're looking at doing on Miller Road? Two different applications. So just for people that have questions that don't like all the stones and the stepping up, the micro resurfacing is a different application and it's not going to do that. So I just wanted to throw that out there for people that have been asking questions. Back to the micro resurfacing, Joe and I have spoken to the contractor. He's going to be coming in to start steel cracking the end of July. hopefully getting the application put in place at the beginning of August. On our agenda, we have our DOT paving and Southland. Joe Naomi is just waiting on the current contractor to get confirmation. Hopefully, we're going to get Silcon back in there, get the paving done in August. Everything's moving forward with that. On the East Lake Drainage, I know at the beginning of the day, we had the information that Boro finally got it. On the agenda, we pulled it off the agenda, just because we need further time to actually review the plan and really take a hard look at the numbers and see what the plan actually looks like before we proceed. So in the next week or two, we're going to continue to take a look at that in-house and see what Boro came up with, and try to maybe tweak things a little bit to get the cost down. Obviously, the cost in what he came up with is quite a bit less than what he initially proposed, but my personal feeling is that there's still meat on the bone there to nip the cost there. So more information to come. We'll probably pick that conversation back up by the time the next workshop comes in. On the utility front, I know we've been speaking to our utility engineer, Neglia Group, about some ongoing valve issues and box issues. I know they've sent us a proposal. We need to continue to keep follow up with that, so we don't have a massive failure and a shortage to create a problem for our customers. Also on the agenda is a water utility truck that was budgeted for. Everybody will see that in their packet. Again, with the tennis court, the ribbon cutting the other night, what a great evening, what a great thing for this council and mayor to really see the vision that this council's laid out to really accomplishing things in the community, being smart with spending our taxpayer dollars and actually accomplishing great things for the people in the community to come out and enjoy. It was a pleasure to be a part of it. It was a pleasure to help launch it and be a part of it. That's the way. It's just one of the many more good things to come in Kinnelon. That's it for me, man.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. I will move on to Finance and Public Safety, Councilman Churro.
Thank you, Mayor. So this week is the Junior Police Academy in town. We paired with Butler. 35 Kinnelon cadets have gone through the program. I just want to thank Officer Dan Jonkers and his team for leading the program. Again, congratulations to Officer Joe Sabateri. Like the Mayor said, we wish him a long, safe, and long career in Kinnelon. I want to thank everybody that came out to the 4th of July car wash fundraiser for the fire company. They do a kind of like a free will, get your car washed, and make a donation. So I want to thank everybody that comes out, takes time out of their holiday to support the fire company and get a clean car at the same time. Finances, big year, everything's going very well, very smooth. Just a personal note, I just wanted to bring up 4th of July weekend. My family was invited to the Basin Lakes community event. We were invited by friends of ours, and it was amazing. It was the first time I went to anything at Basin Lakes, and the weekend began with parade on wheels. My daughter had a blast. We latched on to the family that invited us all weekend, and we wrapped up with the penny carnival. And every time I looked out at everybody, I just couldn't believe that this is where I live. It was just such a warm, welcoming environment, and I just want to express my thanks to the Basin Lakes board for putting that on, and just the whole Basin Lakes community. It was a great event. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to ordinance. Council President Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. The Works Committee's had several resolutions and 2 ordinances to adopt this evening, and 1 ordinance to introduce. Councilman Beatty has already mentioned many of the resolutions that we're going to address. I'm not going to run through the list. They are all written out on the agenda, so if you want to look at those and peruse them, you're welcome to. The ordinance we are going to be voting to adopt will be ordinance 14, well, it might not be the number in case of something comes in between, but we're gonna be introducing an ordinance tonight, possibly 1425, at the request of our chief of police, and it's to help to deal with dangerous traffic situations that have sort of raised their heads recently in town, and it's an ordinance to prohibit the parking of unattached trailers on public roadways here in Kinnelon. It's causing a real traffic problem. And that's it, Mayor, for my ordinance report, but I'd like to give a progress update on the Veterans and First Responders Memorial.
Sure.
So, hopefully most of you know we're doing a fundraiser for a Veterans and First Responders Memorial. We have a memorial out front of the building. Not many people know it's there. It's pretty well hidden, but it's right under the flagpole. And unfortunately, it's falling apart. So council has voted to renovate it and rededicate it. And things are moving right along. The overall cost, so we're looking at it in two phases. We have phase 1, phase 2. Overall cost of both phases together has been estimated at about $245,000. And currently we are working to implement phase 1. And we've started soliciting donations, and donations are coming in to cover that. And we have created the brick paver donation website.
I didn't know where you were going.
So this is the website. And if you'd like to order,
No one's ever done that.
if you'd like to order a brick paver for to A, help support the Veterans and First Responders Memorial, help pay for it, and also to honor, you can put anything on the paper that you'd like. If you'd like to put a veteran, name of a veteran, his area of service, anything you'd like to put on there, we can put on there. If you'd like to just say that you're donating in honor of the memorial, you can do that. If you just want to put your family name on paper, you can do that. But it's a way for people to help support this. Those pavers are going to be turned into a sidewalk. If we get enough pavers, we're going to create a second sidewalk directly from the front of the Boro wall out to the memorial. And so that's the website. And I'm happy to report that we've already, just in the 7 weeks when we first announced this, and we didn't even have a website for people to donate to, we've actually collected approximately half of the money we need to do phase 1. So that's really fantastic. We will be putting a donation thermometer outside of the Boro wall if everybody agrees to do that, and so that everyone can see how much we've collected and how far we still have to go. And very soon we're going to start the demolition of the existing memorial so that we can level the ground and begin installing. You don't have to buy a brick to donate. If you're not interested in buying a brick, you can simply send a check to Kinnelon Boro. If you put in the check memo memorial donation, or what I like to do is VFR memorial donation to Veterans and First Responders Memorial. But anyway, if you would put that in the memo, we would happily take any amount that you would care to donate. $10, $5, $100, $1,000, whatever. We just want to try, rather than dedicating borough funds, tax money, we'd like to actually solicit from people that are interested in supporting our fallen heroes and first responders that protect us every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's actually what I have to say.
Okay, so I mean,
Thank you all.
the only thing I would mention about this is we want you to know we did use borough dollars to start this because we need to write checks and everything, but as Eric gathers money, it replaces that, so there won't be any borough dollars.
We actually haven't written any checks
Yeah.
yet. What we did was we issued a PO for the granite slabs, and I wish I had a picture that I could show you. I wish I brought a picture of what it is, but we issued a PO, but that PO hasn't been paid yet.
Right.
And we actually are within, I think, $5,000 of having collected enough to cover that PO. So that's the largest part of the cost of the memorial. So I think by the time we have to pay that, we will not have to use any borough money.
And that was my point, so that's good news, so,
Yep.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll move on to personnel, Councilwoman Frank.
Thanks, Mayor. And wish to also welcome Officer Joseph Septieri. Welcome to our beautiful town. We're very happy to have you. For personnel this week, I did a review of the Borough Employee Handbook. I wanted to familiarize myself with some of the employee benefits and policies. Also wanted to give a quick mention. I stopped by the DPW during the Employee Appreciation Week last month. And recently I also noticed the addition of new cardboard compactor, which is a great addition. We're having a lot of issues with wind blowing cardboard around the roads. This should really solve that problem. It's a really good piece of equipment. Happy to have that. Also, last night I attended the ribbon cutting also of the new pickleball courts. This is such a wonderful addition on the corner of Wood Avenue and Basin Lakes Road. The pickleball courts are really just a small microcosm of what this current council is all about. Understanding the needs of the residents and taking action. Thank you to everyone for having the vision and seeing it through to the benefit of the entire community.
Thank you. Okay, OEM and coordinating, Councilman Reckler.
Good evening, everyone. I start tonight with a story of hope. He's a Kinnelon resident, John Vaughn. You might know him. He's been a resident for 30 years. He's a small ride service station owner. Now he works there. He was diagnosed with cancer, and so I'm asking everyone to send their thoughts and prayers and well wishes out to him. Good news, a story of hope, is that he has been diagnosed now that he is cancer free. So that's a good thing. He's a good guy, real honest guy. It's hard to find an honest mechanic, right? That's him. So I'd like to set that out. Kind of the story of hope continues with his son. His son, I've mentored his son, and he is at basic training right now for what I consider the best service, the United States Air Force. So Airman First Class James Vaughn is at Shepherd Air Force Base. So I'd like everyone to send their well wishes to him. He's got a 98 average, and during his time, probably the most stressful time for any airman, marine, soldier, sailor, and now all I can say guardian, is basic training. And during that time, his father was suffering through this. So he had a little bit of a fall in basic, but he's gotten up, and I can proud to say he's going to graduate with a 98 average. I'd like to add, Mayor, when you say first responders, everyone, every Thursday, I'm going to remind everyone, tomorrow is Red Day. Red, aware of this, always, Red stands for remember everyone deployed. So aside from our first responders, aside from our fallen, the men and women out there risking their lives, especially right now in CENTCOM, Central Command, Middle East, and PACOM, Pacific Command. Move on to the Board of Health. They don't have a meeting this month, but they're still doing important work, and Robert Heckler's done a great job. And I always joke, Ron Reckler, Robert Heckler, unrelated. This month, or actually, I think it was last month, most of the time you don't enjoy going to the mailbox, but this month I did, and I received an update from PDA 341, and in there they're asking for donations. So I'd like everyone to dig into their pocket out there in Facebook land. But I'm going to take my hat off as a councilman right now, put it up as the VFW Commander in Chief. I've got a $500 check started off to the PBA, local 341 for you guys. So if I try to walk out here before you go down on me, because I owe you $500. All right. I wasn't able to make the pickleball coronation, but I wanted to say thank you to Melanie Shuckers. She does a great job, and she's the face of our community. For me, I just finished with her 9 years, kindergarten to 8th grade, 2, 3, 4 times a year I would deal with her, and she was always there. So the pickleball thing, not a surprise, because Melanie's top notch. OEM, you might have walked in today, the chief, I'll say pixel warnings, and put them out there, and Jen A, one of our town employees, she helps me as well. So we started the extreme heat advisories and the thunderstorms and all that. And what you might have noticed when you came in here tonight was the library. So we've got a sign out front that doesn't work. We're still working on that, trying to get that going. But I went to the library today and asked if they could put up the sign for me, and they did. So a good lesson for all of us that we can work with our brethren on both sides of the walkway here. For our emergency operations plan for EOP, it's called an EOP. We're starting from scratch for emergency management, and we started with that with the state vendor. I've requested that we put on some new members into the Kinnelon OEM. So our business administrator is working on that for me. So hopefully I'll have some names next month, and then we can go from there. So remember this number, 888-777. Okay, that is Everbridge Nixle. That will get you the OEM alerts. So I'd like to send that out there. And now on to my good governance, I'll call that my good governance report. For the record, I want to say that I never voted, nor did I agree to appropriate any funds for our town newsletter, and I have had no input on the content. So I just wanted that to be put on the record for time going by, or for posterity. I'll be voting no tonight on the powers, the realignment for the business administrator. I would like the public safety committee to have discussed the ramifications, what would happen to the police department. But I'm hoping that the safety, security, integrity of our police department is not compromised. But what I'll say is, from my experience, you never want a civilian arm to be a tactical arm of the government. And I'm just hoping that the security and safety aren't compromised. And then finally, move to the monument. I truly do understand the zeal and the enthusiasm behind that, but I want to get to this. So, as I alluded to before, I'm the commander of the VFW along with Wayne Stein. And I'm also a member of the American Legion in town. So, when this was brought up, I'll take on and put off hats back and forth, but as a service member, I spoke to my brethren in the VFW and the American Legion, and I asked what the taste was for. And it wasn't until last month when I went to the American Legion meeting that one of our members was a Boy Scout, and I might get it wrong. It might have been in the 50s, 60s. Don't count. Don't hold me to that. But they built, as a Boy Scout, they built that monument outside. And when I gave I helped with the Memorial Day observance, I went outside and I sat there and went to look at it. something that means something, that's something new in our names, honestly. That's my feelings on that. That's why I'm in the voting for that. I'm gonna take my hat off as a veteran and put it back on as a councilman. And I don't wanna raise your taxes every year so that I can give you an ornate money. That's how I feel. I'm saying this as respectfully as possible, but it really strikes a chord with me. So that's where I stand with that. My colleague Bob Lewis made a motion to a couple months ago that we not use any town funds for this, but it was decided kind of in the town council meeting or the workshop. I would rather it be done in full. So here we stand. My vote is no. We're going to be outvoted, but I wanted the voice of the veterans, the voice of the American Legionnaires, the voice of the VFW members to be heard tonight, and I think I can accomplish that. Mr. Mayor, that's my report, my good governance report for tonight.
Okay, we'll move on to recreation and open space. Councilman Lewis.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll start with the library because for the past few summers, you noticed tonight, the library has sponsored the On the Lawn Kinnelon Public Library concert series. Concerts are held on the lawn in front of the library in Boro Hall. This summer, they had the Coots Band perform in June, and tonight is the Nash East Band, who's performing out there right now. So again, amazing things by this library that I didn't know even existed. They just keep amazing me. They have their summer reading program. Each year the library has a summer reading program for all ages, kids, teens, and adults. This year's program runs from June 13th to August 8th and is open to Kinnelon residents only. Participants read to earn raffle tickets for prizes, and as of today they have 380 children signed up. Last year they had 227, so that's something that's growing here in the town. Program attendance increases in the summer, particularly children's programming. In June of 24, there were 43 children's programs and 1,166 attendees. This June, they offered 43 children's programs and over 2,000 attendees. So again, it's something that's really growing. Just like the recreation has their summer camps, the library is doing its part for the town here, and there's a lot going on there. Mention the book sale real quick. That's a big item for them. That's, again, a reminder, that's Friday, August 15th through Monday, the 18th, and they're taking donations through the 4th at the Kiel Firehouse. So that's a big one there. Recreation. Only one week left of the summer camp. 650 children attended the many camps offered this summer. We've added many new programs this year. Most programs sold out, record numbers as well. Heat and humidity did not curb the exceptional enthusiasm of the summer camp staff and the coaches. We'd like to thank the Kinnelon School administrators and staff, specifically Stony Brook and the high school, for partnering, opening up their doors to provide fun and safe place for our children. Registration for the fall season soccer and cross country is now open. Football and cheer registration is closed. Also posting record numbers for football and cheer. Unbelievable. Equipment and uniforms are ordered. Schedules in place for the gridiron season beginning in early August. The 2025-26 ice hockey registration is also open. Ice hockey's growing in this town just amazingly after the big win at the high school, big state championship. They need to get an early start as their season begins in October, so we don't look out for what's going on with hockey in this town. The popular Kinnelon Carnival is just a couple weeks away. The carnival will take place in the Kinnelon High School parking lot from August 6th to 9th. Details will be released soon regarding wristband nights and hours of operation. Please stop by with the kids. It's going to be great. It's always great. Also around the corner is K-Fest, Mayor. Take place Saturday, September 27th. Vendors rides, the popular zip line will be back with tons of other fun rides for the kids. The Nicky Breyer Band and Country Comfort will take the stage, followed by spectacular fireworks for all at the end. Please consider becoming one of our honored sponsors or for vendors this year. Forms will be posted on the Kinnelon Boro website on Monday. In addition, we're also bringing back Kids Corner, a chance for our youngest entrepreneurs to set up a tent and sell their creations. The ribbon cutting we had for the pickleball tennis courts, it was really well received. I get to tell you, talked to a lot of residents, and it's getting a lot of use, and the residents are just beaming. They're beaming with the condition of the courts. It's just fantastic. So again, hats off to Melanie for getting that night, creating that night. Jim for getting some dignitaries there. It was really good. It was really special for the town, and the council's really done a great job trying to improve facilities all around the town. So I think that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Council. Craig, before we move forward, we do have the new sign outside. I see it's in place.
We're waiting on our electrician to pick it up.
It's ready to go. It should be next week sometime, correct? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Ron. I did forget the newsletter. We are looking for sponsors for the newsletter. To kind of, the goal is to fully fund it. That was the intent. And if we could add it to the next work session agenda, because I want input from members of the council. It makes my job a lot easier when I put this newsletter together, if I can get more feedback, because our goal was always to make sure that we understand that residents aren't on Facebook and they might not be online. So our goal and our commitment was to get the communication to every single mailbox in town the most cost-effective way. So if you notice in there, we're looking for sponsors, we're looking for donors in that aspect, and open to any article that just makes the writing a lot easier for me. So open to opinions. Thank you.
Okay, Mayor? Yes.
I forgot one thing in my report. This came from a resident, Mike Delamonte, down on the corner of Standish Lane and Lakeside. This was a email that came out, and I know you saw it, but I just wanted to give Joe Niozzi and his crew over at DPW and how good they are with responding to issues with this flooding and also just trying to be proactive. The email reads, Joe, the crew from the DPW, a special thanks to Jen for the immediate response and great work helping the residents with the recent flooding situation on Standish Lane. Greatly appreciated the coordination and the services. Kind regards, Mike Delamonte. I just wanted to throw that out to the guys at the DPW because they are doing a great job.
Okay, thank you. I did forward that email from Mike to Joe and his staff and told him thank you very much. So. All right, thank you. Now we'll move to hearing from the public. Is there anybody from the public like to be heard? Whoever's standing up, going up.
Good evening, Mayor. My name's Randall White. I live at 23 Glen Rock Drive. And before I start what I wrote to say tonight, I just wanted to thank Mr. Rector for his words. You may remember, sir, I sat here in January when you and Mr. Lewis were first introduced. And I wish you both well, and I also mentioned that I think every resident of Kinnelon hopes that you lead with integrity, and with what you have to say tonight, you're proving that you feel just that. So thank you very much. I'd like to speak tonight about transparency in our local government. Just this morning I visited the Kinnelon Borough website to download the agenda for tonight's council meeting, and I found that it was not available. And there is no reason why the agenda should not be published within 24 hours of each council workshop. If it gets amended, the amendment should be transparent also. The lack of timely disclosure makes it harder for residents to engage, and it raises serious concerns about whether this is an intentional barrier to avoid public input. The residents of Kinnelon deserve better. As many of you know, I proudly serve as an assistant scoutmaster for Kinnelon Troop 277. I've had the privilege of representing our troop and our town at every Memorial Day and Veterans Day event for the past 11 years. organized overnight trips to West Point to introduce our scouts to the cadets, to the U.S. Naval Academy to introduce our scouts to the midshipmen, and even to the Coast Guard barracks in Nantucket. We weren't able to get our scouts to visit the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs because it was a bit far, so I apologize for that, but it's still on our wish list. I volunteer my time and talent because I believe deeply in service to others and in teaching our young people to value those who dedicate their lives to serving our country. This brings me to the topic of the taxpayer-funded Veterans Memorial recently approved by this council. While the intent behind the memorial may be honorable, the process that this council followed raises serious concerns about transparency and oversight. A question for Mr. Churdo.
Yeah, sure.
Did you call for a resident commission to review the plans and gather public input before voting to approve this project?
For the memorial?
Yeah, did you call for a public commission of residents?
No, we voted at a work session on whether or not the council wanted to proceed not to exceed $39,000. We voted on that and we proceeded. And then Councilman Harris did a public presentation to the entire community at a meeting.
So you introduced it to the committee after the vote? So another question for you, sir. Did you advocate for a competitive RFP process to ensure taxpayer dollars were spent wisely?
No, because we're under the bid threshold.
So
If it was more than $44,500, it would need to be bid. That's the bidding QPA requirement. So it's under that threshold, so.
that number doesn't match with what I heard from Mr. Harris.
I might be off by $1 or $2, or
Well, the number you heard from me was the overall cost for phase 2 and phase 1. However, right now we're only engaged in phase 1. If we choose to go to phase 2, then it's a whole different process. But phase 1, under the threshold.
correct. We are only, tonight, we have a resolution on the agenda to order slabs for the monument. I never would have thought honoring veterans in a memorial would be such a controversial issue. We're just trying to make the monument look nicer, and we didn't violate any laws. We did this vote at a work session, and we're going to memorialize it tonight. We didn't violate any funding requirements. Transparency's been here, so I will let you continue.
You have one more minute.
He took my time.
I tried to rebuttal you.
So how were the vendors selected? Were multiple bids reviewed, or was the work awarded without competitive pricing? So you can keep, it's a rhetorical question. I'm not.
I will say right now, we did not violate anything.
These
We
are
follow our
basic
QTA's
questions.
guidelines.
These are basic questions that reflect good governance. Transparency means open discussion, community input, and competitive procurement, not decisions made behind closed doors.
There were no closed
Additionally,
doors.
were local vendors consulted about whether a monument was in the best were veterans consulted on whether or not this monument was the best use of limited taxpayer funds?
That's the end, thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Reckler, as a veteran.
Mr. White, I know you're running for council coming up, but I'm not gonna have that in my meetings where you're gonna try to make everyone up here look bad.
No, I'm not trying to make
You're
everyone
gonna run for
Is there anyone that
council.
would give me that time?
No, you're not done, you're done. Next. Hearing from the public, who's next, please? I'm not doing with this with you again.
My comments are on transparency.
I know, I saw it on your campaign promise, so.
Thank you.
And just so you know, Mr.
Mayor,
We actually
let it go.
campaigned on transparency too. So you're just speaking to everyone.
Hi, good, thank you. Mike Gurley, which is name. I'm here to, with my concerns and talk about the problems I uncovered with the septic system at 21 Wood Chase, which is trying for now to increase their septic tank size and their bed. So the things I uncovered are, the system right now fails to meet the state code. They have a water main line that goes right through the center of their septic bed. It's supposed to be a 10-foot set off. Then on the
map that the engineer doesn't show where the water line continues beyond that bed. So we don't know where it goes as far as the septic does. There's no information on the map. None of this should have passed without that on there.
Were you able to get in touch with Tim today?
I did, and quite frankly, I'm insulted at his answer. So what he told me was, when I asked, did you see where Basin Lakes Water Company put their blue flags to show where the water line is? And what he told me was that they marked out the wrong line. That it's possible there are two water lines there, because the engineer had told him that the contractor had relocated the water line at some point. But he didn't know, he said that the plumbing inspector would be responsible for that, and he didn't know anything about it. But according to the markings that Basin Lakes Water Company put out on Monday, it shows the water line going straight through the center of the bed. So my concern is we have to do more due diligence. Like, who's watching this? And the answer from the health official is really pretty lame. There can't be two water lines. And how could Basin Lakes not find if there was two? There's one line, they found it, it's going right to the bed.
Yeah. I know when I talked to him today, he mentioned that it might have been the old line. I don't know. I'm not a septic guy. But Craig behind you is our town administrator.
Well, my question though is, like, if you're finding one line, why can't you find two?
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. But Craig could be the one that follows through.
And he told me that Basin Lakes Water Company did not have the proper equipment to find the water lines. They're a water company, how could they not have it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, and I found a few other things. There was an error in the calculations for the size of the bed, where they used the wrong number, and the square footage for the bed that they proposed does not meet the number that it needs to be. And the last thing I wanted to bring up was, there was an issue where the wetlands were brought up, because the lot across the street from that, their backyard is basically wetlands, and so there's what they call a transition area, which is a certain distance from there. And that was kind of like never addressed. It was swept under the carpet, because there are additional permits from the state are required, and they should have asked the state DEP for a letter that shows where the actual wetlands are. You can't go by the geo map; it's not fully accurate. So yeah, I don't know if that was done or not. But I'm saying it should have been done. So I'm asking for more due diligence and following up on this.
Okay. I do know. I don't know, Ryan. I don't want to talk out of place because I know this is in front of our Board of Adjustments right now. So
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well, certainly, you have an opportunity to appear before the Board of Adjustment or understand this application and bring these concerns to them as well. But I think Mr. Craig is going to hand you his card. If you can get that information to him, and we'll make sure it gets to the right people to determine whether or not the DEP should be involved, for example.
So, I mean, as the place stands right now, they're in violation of code.
Right.
They need to,
Yes. I agree.
we need to do something.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. Marie Falco, I'm from 15 Tree Lane, and I'm also here in reference to 21 Wood Chase Lane. Mr. Mayor, I'm sure you remember 5 years ago, a group of us met with you here in reference to 21 Wood Chase Lane. In 5 years, nothing has been done. They have been operating illegally for the past 6 years. They are only now going to the Board of Adjustment because they have been issued violations. I just want, listening to you tonight and all the council members, Kinnelon, I'm a 40-year resident here. And I moved here because of how wonderful it was. And I'm not happy right now. Because if I did what they were doing, I would get all kinds of violations, and it wouldn't take 6 years to do it. I don't know if you, Mr. Mayor, or the council knows, or who's ever in charge of this, we are a deed restricted Tree Lane and Wood Chase Lane. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Tree was originally done. It was part of a group called Crispin Woods. It was owned by RevCal. And then Wood Chase continued. It makes a horseshoe. And we are deed restricted, meaning that the first condition is the property shall be used for residential purposes only, single-family dwelling. According to Kinnelon's ordinance, zoning code 207-4, your own definition, they do not meet a single family. They're basically looking for a boarding home, which exactly says, in the last line, boarding homes and other such occupancies shall be excluded from one-family zones. So this should have never happened to begin with. And I'm upset because now we have a group of people, we're doing a ton of research on this. We're finding mistakes on the septic. We're finding we're deed restricted. That should have never been allowed to begin with. It's a commercial business that's operating there. And it shouldn't be allowed. And I want you and all of you, you appoint the Board of Adjustment. We've gone to the Board of Adjustment meeting. There's a continuation on August 5th. It was already started, it's been being continued. You appoint all these people. I want someone, since we're your constituents, stand up for us. They're not going to vote you back in office, we are. So I'm asking each and every one of you, please help us out.
I'm not familiar. What is that, 321?
I'm sorry?
I'm not familiar.
With 21 Wood Chase Lane?
What's there?
It's a
Sober house? Okay, understood.
I've had family members who've suffered addiction. I'm all for what they're trying to do, not where they're trying to do it. It's not allowed. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Boro. I live at 39 Highway Drive, and I've been here resident since 1993. That would make it around 32 years. And I want to thank you for all your service. I love living in this community, and I think it's perfectly appropriate. And what I'm here is to ask for your help and notify you of a serious problem with Palisades property application for deed variance for a cooperative sober living residence at 21 Wood Chase Lane. Testimony at the Board of Adjustment meeting on July 1st led me to believe that 21 Wood Chase Lane may be operating as a remote bed facility for a specific treatment center. That it may be masking a commercial operation as a cooperative sober living residence. The applicant's testimony indicated that all residents attend an outpatient program, which he is 50% the owner. He owns 50% of it. Residents can attend another treatment program, but that has never happened in 5 years. This is just one example of the many things that couple this cooperative sober living residence with this single treatment center. Some more things that they gave testimony may clearly violate NJAC 527 regulations governing movement and boarding houses. I'm concerned that something is very wrong and possibly illegal here. I want the town to proactively look into it as part of its consideration in giving a D1 variance. I understand the zoning board of adjustment is hearing this application, but I think the town should proactively look into what's going on there. I'm concerned that something is very, not only may the town have a solid legal basis to deny this D1 experience application, but permitting the abuse and exploitation of cooperative sober living resident statutes, sets of bad precedents. For it to be a bed facility for a commercial treatment center, it's not good for the community and those in recovery. I'm willing to meet with town officials to discuss my concerns and further explanations. I know this isn't for detail, and I'd like to know whom to contact and provide my contact information. Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time.
years, I am a combat wounded disabled veteran and a Purple Heart recipient. Under the Constitution which governs this country, at 21 years ago, I must die protected. We're guaranteed the right, the First Amendment right to freedom of speech. And under the Open Public Records Act and the Sunshine Law in the state of New Jersey, you are bound by law to allow members of the public to yield their time to another member of the public. This is not a question, it's a rhetorical question. I'm wondering why you guys kept time to bring the light, almost implied dispassion, and you didn't keep time for anything else. But I kept time on everyone else's soul. Naturally. Big time statements. I would like to know if you guys are going to honor the Constitution and both all swore with the Constitution, uphold and defend it, and allow me to yield my time unobstructed.
You're not permitted to do that, sir. There's no constitutional right to yield your time to someone else.
Open Public Record Act, Sunshine, sir, guarantees me by law.
You are guaranteed the right to speak in a public meeting. You're exercising that right tonight. The public body can limit it, which this body has done to 5 minutes.
Correct. I am allowed by law to yield my time to somebody else.
Legally, you will.
So you're going to deny me my First Amendment right to freedom of speech on record.
I am telling you, you're exercising a right now. You're speaking at a public meeting.
Right.
That is your right.
Under the First Amendment, which guarantees me the right to free speech,
We can disagree.
piggybacking off of that is the Open Public Record Act and the Sunshine Law allows me by law to yield my time. No, it allows you all to yield your time too for topics of importance where someone has extra to say and you don't have anything to say, right? That transfers to the members of the public too. By law, we're protected. So you're telling me
Mayor's council have hired me to give them advice. My advice is you cannot yield your time to someone else. That's my legal advice to this council. Okay?
who makes the decisions then based on your legal advice?
The mayor wants to.
Mr. Mayor, you can allow me to use my time without
You're running for council as well, correct?
Is there bias and sort of
I'm
bias?
just asking, question. Question. Right, so, no, you cannot yield your time.
I'm a little clear.
Yeah, I'm open to any concerns from the public, but even Mr. White just want to attack.
I'm not attacking. I think I'm being very, very professional right now. You seem to be attacking by classifying my he's speaking here.
I really love to answer.
Are you attacking this single veteran?
Yeah.
I'm not, but if you want to spend that
Right,
narrative.
is there any- Go ahead. Go ahead.
So,
I said that. No, I said you're, yeah, you're not, you can't yield your time. You have 5 minutes to talk.
Okay. Our rights to free speech will be violated. Thank you.
Mr. Maybe, I don't appreciate your comment, if that was you, saying, yeah, right. I don't appreciate it at all.
It's my comment and I stand by it, so it is what it is.
Okay.
It's below you and the office you hold.
All right, so would anybody else from the public like to be heard? Come on up, please.
My name is Sharon Marshall, and I wasn't planning on speaking until I heard that some of you were not aware of 21 Chase Lane. I'd like to make a neighborhood tax center. I've been here 26 years. Both my girls went to Kinnelon College. They most graduated as a lawyer, one graduated accountant. They have the best education here ever. But when Chase Lane is not what it was 26 years ago, we now have a solar house. And although the gentleman was here and said they don't come out, don't walk around the block, don't run into them, don't see them, there's no truth to that. I have 4 grandchildren, my name is sick, 2, 3, 4, and 5 years old. The neighbors will tell you, I'm out walking around the block, riding bikes around the block, and they're also out there. They're kind of scary sometimes. When I was trimming hedges with my husband, we did a lot of goals. I'm ready to leave. Within 2 inches of me,
second. Craig, you have a dog park update? So we met with them and they measured everything, looked at it, now they're gonna come back with a price on what it's gonna cost to do the drawings and also to produce a dog park.
A couple weeks we'll have a proposal for design. That's not the design, that's the proposal. How much should it cost to design?
We need some hope, we need some hope.
Alright, so I'm gonna close it to the public unless, Craig, do you have something?
I think their biggest stumbling block is getting a response from the DEP because of the close proximity to the street. And that's what they're.
The street behind it or to the.
Right down the middle, there's a drainage system there. DEP isn't always the quickest to respond, but they're trying, and once they get the answer, they're going to. The mayor's all lost.
Yes. Yeah, we do. Alright, so anyone else from the public want to be heard? Thank you. We'll make sure Craig's in contact with you. I'll follow through with Craig and I also will talk to the Board of Adjustment and see where they are with this whole thing and, fingers crossed. Okay, I'm sorry, we'll move on to, the payment of bills for July 17th. Everybody had a chance to look at the payment of bills. Do I have a motion to approve them?
Make a motion.
Okay, roll call, please. Sean?
Yes.
Payment of bills?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, now we have our consent agenda. We are eliminating N, which is, permission to advertise and receive bids for the East Lake drainage project. I just think, that came in front of us way too early. We all didn't get a chance to look at it. So it's pulled tonight. We will look at it in our next workshop. Public meeting, so feel free to come there and listen to the discussion before we vote. And also, Curio has resolution 710 to discuss that. So I need a motion to approve A through L.
Make a motion.
Oh, I'm gonna make a motion to approve, J. J.
Okay, so I need that motion to approve that.
Okay, motion.
Second. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Okay, now we have resolution 71025, it's the authorization for the borough to purchase memorial stones from Dolinsky Memorial. Anyone want to make a comment on that before we vote?
Yeah, I'll make a comment there. Obviously, all we're talking about is phase one. All this stuff was open, for discussion and talk about. Councilman Harris did a great presentation to the public. I stepped up and donated $5,000 personally. By the time the fire department, yourself, Mr. Mayor, Councilman Churchill, Councilwoman Frank, Councilman Harris, and we start getting this out to the public, I honestly feel we're going to cover the cost phase one with all donations. Phase two isn't even on the table. We're talking about phase one. And with the structure outside the front of the municipal building, honor bearers and people that have served the community, and we just had our parking lot paved. This council is about fixing problems, not kicking the can down the road. So I'm gleefully and happily looking forward to voting yes on this particular item.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes. Go ahead.
No, you go, keep going.
Well, I'll answer what Sean said. It's not kicking the can down the road. you to understand this is about legacy, it's about tradition, it's about the World War II veterans, it's about the gentleman who created that monument. It's not about a political agenda. It's not about what council is getting done. It's about respect for tradition and honor and legacy and military service. That's what it's about, and I implore this council to listen to your local veterans who have voted in 2 separate meetings that they don't want this monument.
I'd like to make a comment before you.
No, that's fine. Mine's only positive, so
Yeah, positive. I'm not actually going to try and make a positive comment. One of the things I found in the research for this memorial was that there are actually 4 veterans that are not honored, 4 fatalities that are not honored and not on that memorial. So that was part of the reason why we wanted to update this memorial. If I don't know if Councilman Regular knows or not, but there also is the names of some of the dead from 9/11 that are on that memorial. They really have nothing to do with the veterans that are honored there. And one of the things that the new memorial does is separate the different categories. We have one slab, one of the large slabs that will be dedicated to veterans, and it will only be dedicated to veterans. It won't be split with 9/11 victims or other names that are on that memorial now. And so I could probably list the 4 names that are not there, but two of them are Brian Lafayette. He died in peacetime at Fort Drum, and Matthew Jaskowitz, Matthew Jaskowitz, Sergeant, Master Sergeant, Staff Sergeant Jaskowitz, and he died also in peacetime. He was stationed in Fort Bragg. And there are 2 other Vietnam veterans that are not listed on that. They're actually on small plaques over at the high school. And so we wanted to try and bring all those together in one area and honor all of them. And there's all this brouhaha being made about the fact that we're committing borough funds to this and that money's going out of the till here. And that's actually not the case. We're being very careful about fundraising. And actually, I would like to personally thank Councilman Tirdo for taking a look at the design and saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. I'm going to purchase a bench. And so Councilman Tirdo purchased a bench. The mayor also took a look at the design and said, I would like to be a part of this. I'm going to purchase a bench. So both of the benches, both of the granite benches have actually been purchased out of pocket and actually already been paid for by both Councilman Tirdo and the mayor. Councilman Maybe, as he stated, he actually just ponied up on at the ribbon cutting. He handed me a check. I said, Eric, I want to be part of this. And he handed me a check. And I have also made a donation toward the monument, and I purchased 2 of the bricks myself. My father is going to be on a brick, and my wife's father, both going to be on bricks on the memorial path. And then I don't know if anyone knows, I'm sure you know, Tom Klein and Corrine Klein, they actually made a tremendous donation to this. So that's how we are halfway to paying for this already out of donated funds. And since we just literally opened up the donation system, we're hoping I've already gotten 4 donations for brick pavers. They're $300 a pop, and we're just ecstatic that we've gotten another $1,200 that just came in, and we're hoping that other citizens here, residents in Kinnelon, are going to be willing to make donations, because this is honoring the people that have worked toward keeping out there and you look at the existing memorial, and I respect, Ron, you say that members of the community built that memorial. It's built out of the same brick that these buildings are built out of, but if you've gone out there and looked at it, it's deteriorating. The bricks are really spalling. The hardscape is breaking up, and it's dirty, and we would like, and I don't know if you've ever had a loved one that's in the graveyard, and when the people that run the cemetery don't keep it up, it dishonors the people that are there. And that's the way I feel about this. We are dishonoring the sacrifice of the people that are named in this. And that was my inspiration and my motivation for bringing this to council and making this. So I guess we're going to have to disagree on what the council's motivation is for doing this, and that's fine. That's what this democratic process is. We are here to represent our own best thoughts about how to serve the community.
Sure. So I'm not for any town funds being given to this project. You know, if it's done by donations, I think it's all a great idea. Councilman Harris has done put a lot of work into it, but I just don't see town funds going to this. We have the library who wants to improve their outdoor space. Okay, we haven't extended any money to them. They're doing this all on their own with donations. So I don't know why this would be treated any different than that. So they're not asking for any public funds, and I don't think any public funds, any taxpayer dollars should go to this memorial. And that's what I think.
Thank you.
15 home?
Yep.
I love being a councilman for the borough of Kinnelon. I love it. For all of the daggers, all the stares, everything, I still love serving this community. Why? Because our job as members of this governing body are to see problems and issues within the community and find solutions. Not see a deteriorating monument and say, make a donation. Improve it or take it down. Either way, funds are going to that monument. Because I won't sit up here and see a monument deteriorate. Someone needs to take responsibility for that monument, and that's what this council's doing. We're taking responsibility for a monument that has been deteriorating over the years, hidden, obstructed. And at the end of the day, borough funds would be allotted to that project. Whether you take it down or you redo it. And I don't know about you guys, but if I put borough funds to anything, it's to improve something, not tear it down. And that's our goal. And Councilman Harris saw a problem, found a solution, presented that solution, and has been plugging along not only with his time, his talent, but his treasure. Most of the people up here give up their time, talent, and treasure. And, you know, it's just disheartening sometimes to put in so much work and to get knocked down, to hear about a community news that I put so much time into. Myself, Cindy, Councilman Harris, take money out of our pocket to try to cut, I'm sorry, not Councilman Harris, Councilman Aid, take money out of our pocket to start, join the club, and instead we're looked at as the enemy. We're not. We do everything we can each day to make this place better than when we left it. And how you do that is you solve problems. And that's what we're doing. And there's going to come times when borough funds are going to be appropriated. And you have to say to yourself, again, how do you feel about that? Nobody wants to spend money, so we're doing everything we can to get funding. But at the end of the day, the monument has to be attended to. I don't know if you saw the community news or the tennis court. The tennis courts were heaving. And nobody did anything about it. We saw a problem, we put a plan together, and we acted together for the betterment of the community. Could have got donations, but it had to be done. It had to be done. Everybody uses that, including people that run tennis programs. But it had to be done. Either take it out or improve it. And our job is to improve this community, not to go backwards. So, Again, I love this community. I'll be here as long as you want me to be here. And I will give 100% each and every day. So, I just need to say it. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Anyone else from the council?
I just want to thank Councilman Chair for his kind words about
Anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. My final comment is, gentlemen, I'm sorry, but you're tone deaf. This is...
Find a solution, Councilman. Find a solution.
Anthony, I gave you your time to talk.
I'm not tone deaf. I'm asking for a solution. You have not shown one solution in any of the meetings you've attended. Find a solution. I'd like you to sit down. Chief?
Rod, please sit. No, please sit. Well, then back up, back up. Do not get in his face.
Then sit in your chair if there's no physical.
Well, yeah, the way you came looked like he was. Well, that's why I said take a step back.
Absolutely not.
I agree.
They talk behind me. I don't like sitting here. It was my time to talk. So loud.
Don't call me tone deaf.
You are tone deaf. Okay. Now I'm going to turn around. I'm going to speak. This is what you have to deal with. Honestly, that's Anthony. You're tone deaf. The two organizations in town that serve veterans, that are made of veterans, want to keep that monument, repair it, restore it. It doesn't need to be an ornate thing. This is political theater. That's my final answer.
Councilman, you could have taken the charge to restore it, but you chose to challenge the council. You're a veteran. You could have said, I'm going to take this.
I'd love to restore it. We can stop it right now. I'll take it over. I'm too late. There's still nothing there. I'll take it over. Let's restore it.
You're too late. This has been months.
Are you the judge and jury?
No,
It's
I'm
too
not.
late?
I'm
Then
telling you, we're going to vote, but you're...
All right, so would anyone else like to be heard? Okay, we need a roll call, please. Yes, or I need a motion to approve resolution 71025.
Make a motion.
Make a motion.
Second? Okay, I need a roll call, please.
Councilman Baby.
Yes.
Councilman Sherrill?
Yes.
Councilman Harris?
Yes.
Councilwoman Frank?
Yes.
Councilman Reckler?
No.
Councilman Lewis?
No.
Okay, thank you, that's approved, so we'll move on to resolution 71325, permission to advertise and receive bids for the East Lake Drainage Project. We decided we would pull that, so that is gone. Is there, do I have to do anything?
No, it's pulled.
We'll table it till, we'll talk about it at our work session. Everyone will get the plans and be able to make a decision on that. Payment of school tax, which is $3,510,791. $81. I need a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Baby? Councilman Baby?
Baby.
Yes.
Councilman Sherrill?
Yes.
Councilman Harris?
Yes.
Councilwoman Frank?
Yes.
Councilman Reckler? Councilman Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Treasury report indicates that we started out with cash on hand as of May 31st, 2025, in the amount of $14,905,842.84. Receipts for the month of June total $540,064.58, with disbursements amounting to $4,621,139.57. The new balance on hand June 30th, 2025 was $10,824,767.85.
Thank you, we did tax collector, that's,
During the month of May 2025, the tax collector's office processed a total of $3,505,813.17.
okay, thank you. All right, we'll move on to old business.
I have the investment.
Oh, go ahead.
Investment.
Thank you.
Investment report. Interest earned for the month of June 2025 was $46,563.30.
Okay, thank you. Okay, ordinance number 12-2025, it's an ordinance establishing an organizational chart for the Borough of Kinnelon. This ordinance was introduced last at our meeting held on June 19th, 2025. The proper notice was published as required by law. A copy was posted to the municipal bulletin board, and additional copies are made available to the public. This meeting is now open to anyone who would like to speak on ordinance 12-2025. Okay, hearing none from the public, I now close the meeting to the public and bring it back to the dais. Does anyone on the council wish to speak at this time?
I'll speak. I'm going to vote no on it because I think it's good. It puts the borough administrator, it puts him like the police chief. It puts him over the police chief. I'm worried about the chain of command. It has not been. I've not been. We've talked about it, but I'm not satisfied with the way it addresses the chain of command, and I think it opens up for a potential problem down the road. Somebody maybe not going to the chief and going to the borough administrator, and I just think that you could say it's not going to happen, and it looks good on paper, but it just opens up something that I don't think that's the piece I don't like of it. The rest of it seems fine to me, so that's why I'm against it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you while I'm up here, it will never happen. Our chief runs our police department, and if there is ever a problem with it, this council, we all talked about it, then we would change it immediately. So we're comfortable knowing that the security and safety of all of our residents will always be in our chief's hands, period. So.
And Mayor, if I could make a comment. One thing is that the borough administrator works for the council. We are the people that tell the borough administrator what to do, and the mayor. And if the borough administrator should ever exceed his authority, first of all, there are statutes that are in the ordinance that say that he may not do anything outside of what the statute permits. And if for some reason the borough administrator should try to do something like that we are here to make sure that doesn't happen.
Thank you. Any other comments?
That could happen on a day-to-day basis. I'd be at work and agree something unbeknownst to myself, and it's just something.
Hear from the chief of anything.
I'm just saying it shouldn't be set up that way. It's the chain of command.
I'm not mistaken, set up that way in writing, and all this is done is actually put it in a chart. It's already in our structure. It's taking the writing of the ordinance and putting it in a chart. So we're not changing anything. And, I did a lot of conversations with different people in, professionals, spoke to the chief personally. I think this council is on top of everything to begin with. And I personally don't have any problem taking what's already in language and putting it in a chart. So, we're not changing anything.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I need a motion to adopt ordinance 12-2025.
I make a motion.
Second, I need a roll call, please.
Councilman Baby?
Yeah. Yeah.
Councilman Sherwood?
Yes.
Councilman Harris?
Yes.
Councilman Frank?
Yes.
Councilman Reckler?
No.
Councilman Lewis?
No.
Okay, thank you, that's approved. All right, we'll move on to ordinance 13-2025, an ordinance to amend section 6.5 of the Code of the Borough of Kinnelon, titled Power and Duties. This ordinance was introduced last at our meeting on June 19th, 2025. The proper notice was published as required by law. A copy was posted to the municipal bulletin board, and additional copies were made available to the public. This meeting is now open to anybody who would like to speak on ordinance 13-2025. Hearing none, I will now close the meeting to the public and bring it back to the dais. Does anyone in the council wish to speak at this time? Hearing none, I take a motion to adopt ordinance 13-2025.
Make a motion.
Any a second?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Yes, we'll move on to new business, which is ordinance number 14-2025, an ordinance to add a new section 84-10.1 to the code of the Borough of Kinnelon to prohibit the parking of any detached trailer on any street within the Borough of Kinnelon. I need a motion to introduce.
Make a motion.
Okay, we'll give Eric. Second is Cindy. All right, we'll do a roll call, please.
Councilman Baby?
Baby?
Yes. Yes.
Councilman Trudeau?
Yes.
Councilman Harris?
Yes.
Councilwoman Frank?
Yes.
Councilman Ranger?
Yes.
And Councilman Lewis?
Yes.
Whereas the above ordinance was introduced at this meeting to be held on July 17, 2025, and read by title and passed on first reading, now therefore be resolved that at the regular meeting to be held on August 21st, 2025 at 7 p.m. prevailing time in the Kinnelon Municipal Building, this council further consider for second reading and final passage of said ordinance. Be further resolved that the borough clerk of this borough is hereby directed to publish the proper notice thereof. Okay, before we adjourn, I just want everyone to know that I have no problem with anybody coming in front of this council, myself, and talking about problems they have in town, and I will not stop you. But what I do not want is people who are gonna come in and run for office and make this their podium to be reelected. And I did that back when Councilman Cherdo was here, when he used to come in front of us and everybody got upset, I would shut him down. But that's what I believe. If you have a legitimate problem, you can sit up here for a half hour. But this is not a political stage for you to run for council. So that's where I'm at with that. So do I have anything else that needs to be brought up to the council? Hearing none, I need a Glenn Cisco motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
I need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Go Colts.